Fergus Slattery wondering if he can lead Ireland to a first victory in Cardiff since 1967. Our referee today is from France, Monsieur Palmade. Wales started by Gwyn Evans, who gets an early feel of the ball with his boot. That's a knock on by Frank Quinn inside Ireland's 22. Frank Quinn of Old Belvedere makes a mistake with the first set piece of the game. So Gerald Williams with his partner Pearce handing him the ball now. Gerald Williams gets his first feel of a ball in an international match with Ireland's line close at hand. Wales trying to lure the Irish offside. Mr. Palmade has seen something and maybe playing advantage. That's clever with Gravel as the crash ball. Tackled by 13 for Ireland, David Irwin. Wales go for the ruck under the posts. If you are watching in black and white, then remember Wales are wearing the white stocking tops. John Robbie then, about whom there were doubts last night, in back trouble, is on the field, feeds the scrum, but is taken by Williams, and Burgess goes for the Irish line. Rod Lewis, number 6, arrives for Wales as well to help his fellow flanker, and here comes Tony Ward with Ireland's clearance. So early Welsh pressure upon Ireland and some anxious moments for Slattery's 15. As Welsh pressure is at fever heat at the beginning. Phil Orr with a moustache for Ireland, hands on hips behind Jeff Wheel. Opposite Ian Stevens, 1 for Wales. 9 is the Welsh vice-captain Gerald Williams. On the left, 3 is Price, Wheel behind him. Stevens tucked in. Alan Martin setting a record as a Welsh lock forward, just mistiming the jump, and Squire knocks on. Willie Duggan is the number 8 for Ireland. Number 6 worn by John O'Driscoll, who scored important tries for the Lions in South Africa last summer. Robbie on Ireland's 22. Tremendous Welsh drive. Phil Orr alleged to have taken the scrummage down. Number 1 for Ireland. And a penalty to Wales in a promising position some 11 metres from touch. The man with 15 on his back then is my stakes Gwyn Evans. He kicked off, but now he gets his second clasp of the ball, his second placement, and it could be worth 3 points. Gwyn Evans has come up the Welsh ladder the classical way. He was playing in the Welsh secondary schools about 4 years ago. He came up to B level, where he's played at both standoff and in the centre, and now he makes the full Welsh team for the first full 80 minutes, having had 40 minutes, remember, at Murrayfield. And who can blame Gwyn Evans for taking extra special care with this, his first shot at goal in an international. 25 metres range to Gwyn Evans, but an awkward teasing angle. There are points! There's a tremendous amount of my stake support in the crowd, and they will be delirious about that, and Gwyn Evans will have a lovely, comfortable feeling deep in his breast. 3-0 to Wales. Well, that was a reward for early Welsh pressure, which has contained Ireland for some 4.5 minutes in their own half. Ward, with his kick-off, will take Ireland into the Welsh territory for the first time. Tony Ward of Garryowen, who played against Romania at standoff, missed out against France when Campbell moved up, and is now back in the number 10 jersey with Campbell out in the middle. Ward. Duggan leads the Irish assault. That was him, hands high in the air. The number 8. Now we can look at some Irish numbers. Slattery has 7. 6 is worn by O'Driscoll. 4 is on the back of Moskeen, and Spring wears number 5 near the front. At the back for Wales is Rod Lewis. The line out a little way inside Wales' 10-metre line. Seemed to be well off straight. No advantage there for Ireland, one would say. Yes, they have possession. And a penalty for offside against Wales. That was a narrow one because the ball was clear of the loose scrum, clear enough for Robbie to think he could pick it up. And perhaps a little harsh by Misja Palmer. So interestingly, Ireland choose Tony Ward ahead of Ollie Campbell, who had a poor game against France with place kicks. Ward is the first man Ireland have to kick at goal. A little flick of the blade of grass to check the wind, which would be slightly into his face. It's coming from behind our camera on the East Terrace. Tony Ward from 45 metres. What very bad luck. Nearly a 3-point kick. The wind just not quite drifting it in for Tony Ward. So here's Gary Pearce, who's waited 6 minutes for this first placement of the ball with his dropout 22, which Martin sends back to Gerald Williams. That's Peter Morgan in the standoff position, and a reminder that's a late tackle on Morgan too. Just going to make the point that Wales have 4 standoff halves in their back division, and number 12 Peter Morgan is one of them, and he took Gerald Williams' pass, was late tackled, and Wales have a penalty. Gary Pearce, whose line kicking I think will, once he settles down, surprise people this afternoon. I've seen him kick on his good afternoons towards the level of Gareth Davies. He's no mug down the line, is this youngster from Bridgend. Graham Price winning his 32nd cap today. Burgess on his 5th cap. Ireland drive a little way into Wales's half. Wheel with support from Martin, and that somebody among the Welsh forwards alleged to have stamped. The only interpretation one can place upon it was that since most people were on their feet, what was stamped upon was an Irish instep, and Bishop Palmard shows early on that he's not going to stand for it, and Ward is to have a second kick at goal. So allowing for the angle, this will be 52, 53 metres, even longer than the one he missed a few moments ago. The temperature cold at the National Stadium, near 0 I should think, but the turf perfect. A summoning of will, a final set of calculations. Tony Ward, 52 metres. Again, it's not big enough. And Pearce draws Slattery towards him and makes the minor. So a second failure by Ward, but both from extremely long range. Gary Pearce of Bridgend. Donald Spring 5 weights, and O'Driscoll went up and perhaps impeded him. The Wales take ball, and Peter Morgan sees Quinn, 14 for Ireland, bob it into touch. On the right is Wales's 22-metre line. Willie Duggan, one of Ireland's most experienced men, 26th cap, which began in 1975, this series for the Irish number 8. Martin, Gerald Williams to Pearce. It's short. At least a reminder, though, that the youngster has a good left foot and will use it when the occasion arises. Moskeen, another of these Irish veterans, an elderly pack in which only Spring, the other line-out jumper, is under 30, and Ireland's stamina will be a matter of interest towards the end of the game. That was number 3 in possession, was Mick Fitzpatrick. That's him with the beard. vice-captain Gerald Williams seeking to get his front row comfortable. Good drive by Wales, and the Irish may have been offside. They are. Terrific scrummage drive, and it did underline the value of good scrummaging, which many people think perhaps Wales has overemphasised in the last couple of years, but my word, that did the trick. Pearce takes the penalty. Donald Spring brought that ball down for Ireland untidily. Wales win well. Gerald Williams, they miss out Peter Morgan. That's Gravel. This is Gwyn Evans. Peter Morgan had a look behind him and still waits on the right to see if the Welsh back row can arrive quickly. The captain is there, number 8 Squire. They can't prevent Ireland winning, and it was Phil Orr doing his job. Slattery, number 7, is in there. Some Irish boots rucking very hard, and Ward puts the grub kick in. Touch. Ireland taking it rapidly. Spring is the man in possession, and the referee not satisfied. And the referee speaking to Ian Stevens, Wales's loose head prop, and Mick Fitzpatrick. There is a law about the correct position of those hands for the props at a scrimmage. Mr. Palmard was making sure that both props were au fait with it. Gravel trying to burst the Irish centres, making the half break. And this is another penalty man. David Nicholas is tackled by Quinn. Quinn falls as Peter Morgan arrives to help. Wales in Irish territory, but Ireland winning. Robbie booms it to Ward. The Welsh defence is disorientated. Ward's grub kick. Back goes David Richards. He'll have to take McLennan, who tried to get it inside to Hugo McNeill. And here comes a Welsh counter-attack. To Pearce. Brilliant running. Still the standoff goal. It's behind David Irwin. And just then a glimpse of the reason why Gary Pearce, or one of the reasons why the youngsters in this team, rich, beautiful, elusive running. Don't forget the part that Gwyn Evans and Richards played in restarting that counter-attack. Alan Phillips on the right, perhaps going to choose Martin, number 4. Burgess tries to help him and does so. The referee says lifting against Wales. The boys all look innocent, but Ireland get the penalty. Tony Ward. Touch. Sitting beside me, Phil Bennett, former Wales skipper. What about the start made by Wales?
Well, an excellent start, starting with a kick-off mistake by Ireland, and it's amazingly well to see how the young half-backs have settled down. A great start for the half-backs and by Gwyn Evans.
14 minutes into the match, Wales' 10-metre line. Rodri Lewis on his third cap, the student for Wales at the back. Wales' open side flanker. A lot of barging at the front. It seemed to be an Irishman, but a bit of Welsh retaliation, and the penalty changes hands because the Irish took the law into their own hands as well. So again, Pearce is going to use that left boot, and he pegs the ball down the line expertly. And if Gareth Davis is sitting in the stand, I'm sure that he'll doff his hat to those couple of line kicks we've seen. Full spring at the front. Alan Phillips showing good anticipation. Can it be distributed? And penalised. It was probably Willie Duggan, the number 8, attempted to get a hand on it. And Gwyn Evans arrives again from just outside the 22 to side the post. Allowing for the angle, it'll be 30 metres to Gwyn Evans. Place kicking at this stadium, Phil. What are the problems? There is a swirl, they say.
Yes, there is a strong wind out there, and Wales are kicking into the wind at this present time. Gwyn did excellently to kick the first kick he had at goal, and this would be a great boost to Wales and himself if he could pot this over.
So can the Maesteg fullback make it 6-0 to Wales? Crowd disappointed on the far side, and the ball drifts wide. And this is Hugo McNeil in trouble. He rather wasted time, as Hare did for England a few weeks ago. It's not quite so fatal this time, because Robbie puts the clearance in. That's this extremely polished, intelligent player, John Robbie, who's come back into the Irish side since the injury to Patterson on tour with the Lions. Geoffrey Wheel is on his 29th cap today. And I would say one of the Welshmen who gave their all at Murrayfield, well deserving to retain his place. That's Squire's knocked down. Duggan takes Gerald Williams. The Welsh pack looks well knit to me, both at the mauls, as they also do at the set scrummages. And that must have something to do with Jeff Squire. Good drive by Wales. They earn themselves a put in at the set piece. Number 7 on the right for Wales, Clive Burgess, a man who won his 4 caps in 1977, and perhaps another man who may not have thought in terms of a comeback, but there he is. So one penalty has now gone each way for collapsing the scrummage, and this time it's Ireland's turn to have the penalty. Ward's line kick. Spring, Ireland's front jumper against Wales in Dublin last year. He played at number 8. Versatile fellow, his club being Lansdowne, as is Moskeen, so the pair of them are clocked. Ill-directed. Joel Williams does well to recover and runs into number 4 of Ireland, Moskeen. But the Welsh pack gives him tremendous support. The scrum half really needed that, and he got it. Geoffrey Wheel inside to Burgess. Graham Price is there. Wales move into Ireland's half. Ian Stevens, number 1 for Wales. The man from Bridgend on his 3rd cap. Originally, well, brought up certainly at Taftswell. That's where number 1's family all live today. It's Ian Stevens against Mick Fitzpatrick from Wanderers. And no whistle that. The referee judging. They both went down. John Robbie to feed a scrummage on the halfway line. That really is tremendous driving by the Welsh pack. Good old-fashioned cross kick by Tony Ward. Irwin is up very fast for Ireland. It's out in the direction of McLennan. Ray Gravel trying to clear it to touch, but the pickup is by Ollie Campbell, who's running to the 22. McLennan is into the 22. Hugo McNeil is there as well, Ireland's fullback. Wales looking a little bit at 6s and 7s for the first time. Remember the tremendous cross kick by Tony Ward, which started it all near the halfway line, off bad Irish ball incidentally. Phil Bennett, we're 20 minutes into the game. It's becoming more evenly poised.
Yes, Wales have started very well, David, showing far more fire and spirit than they did up in Murrayfield. But interestingly that was the first chance that Tony Ward had to put the ball right up into the air, and we saw that Gwyn Evans and David Richards got a little mixed up, the two newcomers in their positions really, and a bit of a mix-up there which Ireland could have taken more advantage of. But an even game the last few minutes, but it's great to see a bit more Welsh spirit in Hoyle.
The man who's receiving attention under the North Stand is Mick Fitzpatrick of Wanderers. Fitzpatrick is 30, another of these Irish veterans. 7 of them are 30 years of age or older. And of course he was a prop too in the celebration game here in the autumn for Ireland, Scotland against Wales, England, that enthralling game. And the man who's attending to him, John O'Driscoll, the London Irishman, he is a doctor, and just as JPR would often amble over a little while ago for Wales, so Dr. O'Driscoll is having a look at Mick Fitzpatrick. It needs a lot of bandaging, because in those front rows, especially if you're on the tight head side, a tremendous amount of grinding of the temples. "21 and a half minutes into the game, Ireland attacking again through Ward and Campbell, and now McLennan, their left wing, goes back into the Welsh 22. Willie Duggan, number 8 for Ireland, trying to clinch the second phase. 6, O'Driscoll is there. The Irish seem to know where it is. Phil Orr, the last man to have a dig, number 1. Graham Price links arms with Alan Phillips of Cardiff and Ian Stevens. And Rodri Lewis, this time on that side of the field, is on the flank we can see. That's to say he and Burgess are playing open and blind. So Lewis will have to hunt forward now. And what has Mr. Palmard seen? He's seen an Irish foot at work back close to the Welsh 22. And a few little gestures of Gaelic warning have been delivered by him to the 2 packs. And a little bit of Celtic zest with the boot on each side. This is Pearce. 5 metres from touch. I wonder which boot he'll use. And what the forwards will be pleased about is not so much the length, it's the safety. He's put them up to the line-out set piece. Number 7 for Ireland, Fergus Slattery, is playing as captain for the 12th time. His opposite number, Jeff Squire, just losing out then to him, captaining Wales for the 5th time. That's Ward. Gwyn Evans hurrying across. It dropped short, the wind pulled it up to Campbell inside Wales' 22. Moss Keane was there. Robbie serves it to Ward. That's Campbell again. This is Irwin, the other centre, gripped by David Richards. Campbell sends it inside to Ward. The Irishmen are playing like leprechauns as Ward keeps running and sends it to Slattery, and Slattery scores. Ireland's captain scores a great try, which puts his country into the lead at the National Stadium. And a wonderful try with some leprechaun-like play from the Irish backs. So Ireland have served warning to Wales about the quality of attacking they can expect. Ward starts it with another of these huge kicks with snow on them. The Welsh defenders a little bit at 6s and 7s. You can see that Quinn had come infield. Moss Keane helps to win. In a moment we'll look again. So the crowd is buzzing, the stadium is really buzzing with talk about that fine try which Ward is to seek to convert. Little to the right of the posts for Tony Ward. Can Slattery's try be worth 6 points? A miss by Ward, the try remaining unconverted. Still a memorable try, and I bet it'll be remembered by that man Fergus Slattery as proud a memory as he'll have at any of his previous 46 international caps. It's Pearce's restart. Donald Spring, high for Ireland, supported by Duggan. Fitzpatrick, number 3, goes round. And Robbie kicks them down the line. Quinn Evans has not put a foot in touch. Well, in the last 10 minutes, Quinn Evans and Richards have been tested in the way everybody predicted they would be by Ward. There can be no doubt that the captain's try will have given those 8 Irishmen colossal confidence. Duggan knocks down Moskeen, the man in possession. Good ball. The referee has seen a little handling mistake by Ireland. Gerald Williams, Pearce, Gravel, top speed from Quinn Evans. It's behind McLennan. Owens there, 2:13. McLennan the first of the ball. Tackled by Richards. That was good work by the Welsh three-quarter line. Quinn Evans was on the ball, outside the centre, inside the wing. Corner flag just below the west stand. Could this be for number 4 Martin, or further back for Squire 8 from Phillips? Martin, Keane seemed to me to come offside in his anxiety to impede the Welsh ball. Perhaps the referee saw an Irish infringement, so he's taken them back to that corner flag. That must have been a Welsh infringement. John Robbie to feed. There's that impressive Welsh drive again, and Tony Ward right back on the dead ball line. The crowd applauding a cool clearance. Pearce, dummy to Gravel, looking for space, Alan Phillips. The corner flag back in our view. Ian Stevens. Forward. What's healthy about this game is that both sides, having settled down, are showing a healthy will to attack. It's grand stuff. There isn't going to be a penalty. The angles of backsides there demonstrate how hard it is really for referees to reach a judgment on who's to blame, who's doing what to whom. Robbie is still close to Ireland's corner flag. Ward is back on the dead ball line, chased by Rodri Lewis. And the Welsh vice-captain, Gerald Williams, was quickly through as well. The Irishmen are Keane 4, Spring 5 and O'Driscoll 6 against Wheel and Martin and Squire. Alan Phillips on the right. Still Ireland's 22. The unlikeliest one of the 6 really. O'Driscoll got hold of it, but Squire doing his best to win for Williams. Captain to vice-captain. Pearce. Peter Morgan. Rodri Lewis is out with the backs. Clive Burgess is helping Peter Morgan. Geoffrey Wheel arrives to do that colossal mauling job. Gary Pearce, tremendous acceleration. Raymond Greville, tackled bravely by Campbell 12. With a Welsh infringement with a hand, the ball on the ground. Phil Bennett, it's a tremendously exciting game. They both want to run and attack, don't they?
Yes, both sets of back divisions look very sharp indeed, and so far still it'll be an excellent game.
What do you think of the tactical appreciation of Ward, the Irish standoff?
I think Tony Ward's play so far has been superb, and so is that of young Gary Pearce. He shows amazing maturity for so young a man and playing in his first international.
There are 10 minutes of the first half left at the National Stadium. Ireland in the lead by a try to Wales's early penalty goal. Willie Duggan holding an elbow. Duggan's a fine number 8, Phil.
Yes, on tour with Willie in 77 in New Zealand. A very brave man, perhaps lacks the speed of a few years ago, but a very experienced man to have, and a fine partnership with John Robbie as his scrum half, because they play for Leinster together. A vital man in this Irish pack.
What do you think of the forward exchanges so far? Oh, be brief.
I think that Wales have started very well. Now I think they've evened out a bit, but they've shown tremendous drive, and of course the great control that Jeff Squire has.
The line out with 9 minutes of the half remaining is close to halfway, just outside Wales's 10-metre line. Phillips. Martin is getting a lot of barging attention, it seems to me, from Keane. That's Irwin's pass to Quinn. And they test Evans again. A brave catch. Duggan is there, number 8 for Ireland. So is Fitzpatrick. An Irish boot at work behind the referee's back. Robbie tried to make the break. It's sent back to Pearce. Pearce with a clearing kick. Pearce certainly playing with authority and with great calmness. Great partnership for Ireland this season between Slattery, their captain, number 7, and Kiernan in his first season as their coach. Here's Ward. That will hardly be full enough. Evans wants it, he's coming in, and he got knocked over, or knocked himself over, and accidentally offside against more than one player. Wales put in defending side's ball. Pontypool, Cardiff and Bridgend represented in Wales's front row. And Bridgend in the shape of Gerald Williams, the vice-captain, to feed the scrummage. Just inside the Welsh 10-metre line. He's escaping Robbie's attentions very well. Campbell is seeking to profit from that mishandling by Gwyn Evans. Promising Welsh move. A little bit of nervous hands shown by Gwyn Evans as Campbell challenged him. A try to Ireland, penalty goal to Wales with 7 minutes of the first half left. Pick up by Gerald Williams, under the nose of Robbie. Clive Burgess sits supporting. Now he looks for the ball. He has it from Squire. Squire is tackled by Ollie Campbell, number 12 for Ireland. Which way is the penalty going? Going Ireland's way, and it's difficult to tell what exactly for. Perhaps it was again a bit of overzealous Welsh use of the lower limbs. It's to be Ward. That's touch. Two pretty well matched sides then. The newcomers in the Welsh side have settled down. On the other hand, the Irish are playing to the kind of form that was expected of them before they went down to France a fortnight ago. Alan Phillips has been using Martin for most of the afternoon. That was him again. Now the Welshmen are onside because an Irishman touched the kick from Williams. And it comes to Pearce. Difficult pass for Gwyn Evans. Touch and forward, and Peter Morgan on the deck after his efforts to pick that one off his toes. But Peter Morgan, who looks in some pain. Jeff Wheel is very concerned, and out pops Jerry Lewis to diagnose.
I think there was a case where Gary Pearce possibly could have put the ball deep into Irish territory there. They were up very quick, and as it was a slightly bad pass, and Peter took man on ball, and he looks to have suffered quite a bad blow.
Yeah, there was no mistaking that signal from Jerry Lewis. He wants him off.
This could be a blow for Wales, but they've got Alan Donovan, who's a utility player, to come on. I'm just wondering whether they'll bring Gareth, but it looks like he's a good off, and Donovan coming on instead, I would imagine.
Yes, they could hardly split the bridge end halves, and Gareth Davies is by no means used to the centre.
I think this is very sad for Wales, because we're splitting up another partnership of Gabriel and Peter Morgan, and although Alan Donovan's a fine player, it looks as if he's injured his leg rather badly, and he's going off.
So bad luck for Peter Morgan, the first casualty of this international. And for a moment, until the doctor confirms Jerry Lewis's diagnosis, Wales must play with 40 men. And if we look at our view, David Richards has come into the centre next to Gravel, and Rod Lewis is out on the far right wing. Now the Irish pack carrying a little too much weight for the depleted Welshman, and Duggan is harassed by Gerald Williams, and they fight a stalemate. Wales will have the put in at the set piece. And then attacking Wales's 22 with 3 minutes of the first half left, and Pearce charged down. The ball will go dead. But my word, that was David Irwin up so very, very fast. This brilliant young Irish centre, the only Ulsterman in the team, and he's shown Pearce that you can't waste a quarter of seconds at this level. So Pearce to drop out 22 with a sigh of relief, I should think, and perhaps he's unsteadied by that experience. Ball straight in touch, and the Irish support in the crowd raises its voice. John Robbie then to feed a scrummage on Wales's 22, absolute midfield. The threatening Irish back division poised to go either way. Ward, Campbell, McLennan, Rod Lewis has got too much pace for him. Pearce covers well, Gravel arrives too, but Ireland pursue, and they'll have to come back. Out of our view, they did cross the Welsh line. The ball had gone forward. Well, I think Ireland today are certainly getting the best out of Ward and Campbell. They're operating like a pair who've been playing together forever. Now they're inside Wales's 22. Wales's corner flag just behind their vice-captain Gerald Williams. Squire waiting to take pressure off. Penalty against Ireland, just coming in front of the rear foot of their scrummage and becoming offside. Pearce. Touch. Phil Bennett has news from the Welsh dressing room.
Yes, it looks as if Peter Morgan has injured his ribs, and we're still waiting to see whether he's coming in on or not. They're taking quite a long time, and this must be unsettling for the Welsh team.
Wales is 22. Irish throw from Pat Whelan from Gary Owen. And we've seen a few of those this afternoon. Duggan down to Moskeen. Robbie is to drop at goal. It's going to fall short. Still could be awkward for Gwyn Evans. That's to touch. Gwyn Evans collecting a drop shot from Robbie, which was straight but didn't have quite the legs. So when the referee sees him, the wheel will come full circle for Alan Donovan of Swansea. His first cap on his native Wales, Welsh soil. He won one in that tragic match for him in Australia where he injured that bandaged right knee. And let's hope he'll have a full game today and stay on for the rest of the match. He goes into the centre. The outside real organised, but Ireland still win ball. They miss out Irwin. Campbell feeds it to Hugo McNeill, and Gravel brings off a fine tackle. But Irwin wants to attack again. 7 for Wales. Burgess is there to make sure he can't. Can he distribute? Robbie on the left. Richard Palmard says set scrum. You're going against Phil Orr for packing unfairly against Graham Price. Pearce with the penalty. Well, there was an awe from the crowd then. The kicking by Pearce has not had length yet, but at least it's had accuracy. At this line out on the halfway line, we are just a little way now into injury time at the end of the first half. Ireland leading the National Stadium by a try to a penalty goal. And the Irish have, after experiencing some early stick from the Welsh, have got among them, done their share of disrupting. And the Welsh forward effort hasn't been quite as smooth as that with which it started the game. Crash ball from Gravel, distributed. Rod Lewis is there. Ireland trying to kill, are penalised. Welsh vice captain waits for his men to get back on side, and the crowd is pleased. They thought Wales are going to run it, and that's the second time Pearce has had a kick charge down, and he's finding the change to international pace is leaving him that half seconds less time occasionally. Ireland win. Ward. Test for Gwyn Evans and Richards. Evans nearly beaten by the bounce. Ward is there. Gerald Williams has got back. Ireland win. Ward comes away. Are we in for another Irish score? They've got lots of men over as Irwin runs. He's got Quinn coming inside him. Ireland take up the running. It comes to McNeill. He's got to score. Hugo McNeill scores for Ireland against Wales, as he did against France a fortnight ago. Ireland go up to 8-3 after some brilliant attacking. Here's the midfield run by Ward, which began it all. If you watch 13, you'll see that maybe he threw the try away. He ran into Welsh cover when he had men clear, but he did manage to free them all. That neat little run by McLennan from the left wing sends McNeill in close to the flag. A second fine try for the Irish. That's the scorer. He's only on his second cap, and he's had a try in each of these first 2 appearances for Ireland. 22-year-old Leinsterman. So a change from Tony Ward as Ireland's kicker. They give it to their other ace, Ollie Campbell. He too is off target. So a second Irish try remains unconverted. But behind the scrum in these first 40 minutes, they've certainly put their play together. Gary Pearce, a drop kick after the failure of the conversion, and that's twice that Pearce has put the ball into touch on the full from kickoffs. Mistakes he'll be annoyed about, but didn't really matter because we have reached half-time at the end of a thoroughly exciting and also thoroughly absorbing first half. Ireland leading at the National Stadium by 2 tries, and probably from Ian Stevens as well. So Williams taking the pressure off Pearce. Well, here's the man who's been putting pressure on Pearce through the match, the veteran Fergus Slattery. And what an ordeal for young Gary Pearce on his first afternoon in a Welsh jersey against Slattery. Look, Slattery goes out hunting him now, and they move the ball. That's Alan Donovan's first touch of the ball since he replaced Peter Morgan. Not a bad kick, taking Ireland deep into their 22. And that was Campbell covering over for them. Ireland's 22. Finder, Rod Lewis wears 6 for Wales. Squire has 8, Burgess 7. On the right, Slattery has 7 for Ireland. Duggan is 8. John O'Driscoll, who scored against Wales in Dublin, remember, last year? There's 6. Phillips is thrown. Squire. Duggan grips him. And in the pile-up, the Welsh captain has done well. Williams to Pearce. A long-range stroke at goal. Narrow miss by the youngster. That's a sign that his confidence is not at all damaged by the 1 or 2 hairy escapes he had in the first half. Think that Tony Ward looks as if he came out of Max Boyce's Welsh mould or Welsh factory of fly halves. Those dark saturnine looks. This is Slattery tidying up for Ireland. This is Ward. Infield to Evans. Now one for the Irish to deal with. Hugo McNeill comes forward. Fitzpatrick is miles offside. Penalty to Wales. He'll be annoyed with himself, but it was a pretty unthinking act. So Gwyn Evans comes up for what I think will be his 3rd kick at goal. He's put 1 over. He's absolutely midfield, and he's about 32 metres from the target. Watch Gwyn Evans' preparations from our camera on the East Terrace. Meanwhile, Phil Bennett, a comment on that lofted kick from this man in attack.
Yes, I think we've got to realise now how strong the wind is. Tony Ward had plenty of time and misjudged his kick, and there Gwyn put it back in the end, said to Ireland, yes, you have a little bit of what you gave me in the first half, and they were all at 6s and 7s, so there is a very strong wind out there.
So the man from my stay again making deliberate, careful and thorough preparations. Now you can just see the flag on the right showing the wind. That's his problem. And the crowd's disappointment is loud. Problem just too much for Gwyn Evans. A let off for Ireland, and the score remains Wales 3, Ireland 8. Dropout 22 for Ireland by Tony Ward. Martin, good hands by the Aberavon record-breaking lock. And Jeff Wheel, the other one, is hard at work. So is Ian Stevens. That's the best drive we've seen from the Welsh forwards since the first 10 minutes or so. Richard Palmard, used to seeing that kind of rucking in France, and Wales are off the hook. That was the kind of incident that has cost Wales penalties in front of Irish and Scottish referees, but the Frenchman lets it go. Great new centenary season scoreboard shows Ireland's lead. Wales' set scrummaging has been good in this first hour of the game. Graham sets off on a hit. Crash ball course. Campbell brings him to earth. 12 for Ireland. It's into the hands of Gwyn Evans, who'd been hovering near. The play is just inside Ireland's 10-metre line. Pearce delivers really a hospital pass to Alan Donovan. The replacement for Peter Morgan. He's at the bottom of that ruck. Robbie harassed by Gerald Williams. The kick is for Nicholas to deal with. Jeff Wheel coming into Ireland's 22, but there'd been an infringement a little way outside it. Well, Phil Bennett, Wales have begun the second half as they've begun the match.
Yes, and it's very There's Ollie Campbell there. He's taken the full weight of Ray Gravell's charges, and he set it up there for Gary Pearce. And Gary was a little bit slow and gave Allen a bad pass, but he didn't see the wing coming in. But I think you've got Ray 14.5 stone. He's charging at Campbell, and it's a different world tackling a man in the centre as opposed to tackling him at outside half. And I think Ollie's beginning to feel the strain a little.
Again, Ireland's doctor, John O'Driscoll, number 6 of London Irish, pops over to have a look at Ollie Campbell. Well, that's sad for Ireland. He has to go off. It looked to me like stitches, Phil Bennett. He's going
yes, it seems as if he's a cut in his head, and John O'Driscoll looked at him, but they're calling down for a sub, which is sad for Ireland because Campbell looked to be in good form.
So for a moment, it has to be Ireland down to 14 men as Wales were in the first half. Burgess picks up that ball from Robbie, who'd been harassed by Gerald Williams. And it's Williams now who waits as Price tries to ruck. But Robbie comes away, and was he offside? No, but there'd been a knock-on by the Irish. It seems to me that around the base of the scrum, as was perhaps hinted, Robbie is slowing down and maybe feeling the effects of that back, because Gerald Williams is making life a nightmare for him. Williams waits behind Jeff Squire, his captain. The captain picks up. They're trying to exploit the weakened Irish back row close to the scummage, because Ireland have still not had their replacement on for Ollie Campbell. The news about Campbell is he has a very nasty gash in the head. Ireland's goal line just 8 or 10 metres away. Well, Wales could have done with some advantage there. Mr. Palmard could have let the play run, instead of which Ireland, including Whelan, number 2, and his props, are penalised for taking down. It's to be Gwyn Evans again. There we are, 10 metres from touch. He comes back just outside the 22. And there's the wind, and it looks as if it's a westerly wind blowing left to right, but other flags are blowing the other way. That is into Gwyn Evans' face. The swirl is there. I wonder, Phil Bennett, Gwyn Evans has now missed a couple of shots at goal. I wonder whether Jeff Squire is thinking back to Twickenham last year, where he was criticised for changing his kickers too often, was he not?
Yes, indeed he was on that occasion. I think he's given Gwyn the kicks now to try and boost his confidence, and I'm sure Gwyn is desperate for this kick to go. It's a vital kick for Gwyn and for Wales.
30 metres, Gwyn Evans, penalty shot at goal. That's better. Gwyn Evans delighted to be back on target. His second successful penalty shot at goal to bring Wales to within a couple of points of Ireland. Be the first points scored by Maesteg in an international since Chico Hopkins' marvellous try at Twickenham at the beginning of the last decade. Tony Ward restarts. O'Driscoll, number 6, is the first Irishman to the scene. Moss Keane, 4, was close behind him. And Duggan whirls it away on the blind side. The hooker Whelan was in the group, and he took up the running. Now they want second phase. So with that big bandage, Ollie Campbell asking for permission to come back, and he'll get a hero's welcome back. The Irish forwards back up to 8 men. Lead cut to 8-6, and they're attacking Wales on the Welsh 10-metre line. Again, the referee is adjusting the position of hands on the Irish tight head side, where Fitzpatrick and Stevens are in opposition. Robbie, Ward, Campbell returning to the fray, and Quinn has come infield from the right wing. Duggan is supporting for Ireland. Flattery can't take the pass. The pickup is by, the attempted pickup is by Donovan, and Wales knock on. Alan Donovan, 16. Nicely controlled by Squire. Gerald Williams, dummy, and they bring Gwyn Evans into the attack. Rod Lewis is supporting him very well indeed, number 6. Donald Spring, 5 for Ireland, came in from the wrong side, but the Welsh are penalised for holding the ball and not allowing it to be played by the opposition. That was a clear sign by Palmard, and that was the first offence, and it goes in favour of Ireland. Ward, 15 metres from touch. Nice kick.
Spring is number 2. Tucked in is Phil.
Keane is there as well, but the action is with Wheel. Spring, number 5, trying to hold up Geoffrey Wheel's drive, but the ball immaculately laid back for Gerald Williams. As Pierce seen some space, McNeil is in it, and the Irish fullback tests Gwyn Evans, and the kick is good. So number 7, Fergus Slattery, Ireland's captain, pleased with the tactical kicking which has brought Ireland to a position on Wales's 22. They aim for Duggan. Martin had dropped back to counter the threat. Set scrum. Nisha Palmard using gestures of all kinds to overcome the language barrier. Number 9 for Ireland, John Robbie, still Wales's 22. Duggan has to fall, Burgess has pounced upon him down the narrow side. Squire is there, trying to identify where he can add some weight, and now he comes out in the midfield to counter the Irish threat there. It's into space for McLennan to chase. Campbell, Irwin. Slattery was there to help, instrumental in winning ball. But again, not for the first time, John Robbie is a bit too slow. Phil Bennett, do you think Robbie very quickly is suffering?
I think John isn't as sharp as I've seen him in other games, and indeed Gerald Williams and the Welsh back row have got an hand to him at times and spoiled what has been good ball for Ireland.
Gerald Williams to feed a scrimmage a little way from Wales's 22. It's an Irish wheel to try and upset Welsh possession, and it was started by Slattery, number 7, controlling the wheel, hunting Gary Pearce and confining the kick. The Bridgend pair winning their first caps. The last time a club pair was capped for the first time the same day, it was Karen James and Wyn Evans of Llanelli 23 years ago. And here's an old hand, 30-year-old Tony Burgess of Everwale, back in the team after 4 years. Ireland threatening in this period of the match, 15 minutes into the second half. Their lead just 2 points, 2 tries to 2 penalties. Moskeen's jump is a little better timed than Martin's, but a little error with the hands by the big former Gaelic footballer, and in he goes to the powerhouse. Gerald Williams. Again the Irish wheel, and you see Slattery pulling round the locks in the number 8 to try and make it effective, and Wales a little bit uncertain how to deal. Now they do. Gerald Williams puts it up into the stratosphere for McNeil to deal with. He's seen space behind Nicholas. Certainly Hugo McNeil's entry upon the international scene this last fortnight has been a dream one.
Yes, he's playing very well, and I think Wales and he was in the wind half as well as Tony Ward did in the first half for Ireland.
Please go to the first meeting immediately after the match. Mr. Gary Brogan of Southern London Spa. Thank you.
Alan Phillips wears 2 for Wales, the Cardiff hooker, winning his 9th cap today. and once or twice during the game demonstrating his undoubted mobility. He aims for Wheel, but it's untidy. Gerald Williams does so well, comes into Ward, is backed up by his forwards. Ian Stevens was in the van of that drive. Rod Lewis 6 hurries over to help Jeffrey Wheel 5, who's still smashing his way through the Irish park. Gerald Williams is back in the action. The touch flag is up. Tremendous attacking by Wales, close to the scrummage, with the vice-captain in the action twice. There he is, a tough little man, the thirst for involvement. And as has been suggested, he's taking strain off Pearce in this second half. Halfway line. Spring mistiming his jump for Ireland. And Burgess tidying up for Wales and delivering well. Pearce. This time he's aiming for height to try and bring the Welsh attackers onto the Irish run, and it's worked. Pearce knocks on, the whistle is going to go.
Slightly better kick there by Gary Pearce. At least he got out and the Welsh players got under it and put McLean under pressure.
Robbie just inside Ireland's half, feeds and serves Ward, but again he's been caught by Williams. Burgess is tackled by Robbie, couldn't quite work the ball at Gerald Williams. Wales go fiercely for the ruck. Gerald Williams knows where it is. Donald Springs seems to be killing the ball, number 5 for Ireland. Wales will have the put in. Once again, Gerald Williams did damage to Robbie. Through the pass to Ward astray, and the Welsh forwards, notably number 7 there, Clive Burgess, were very rapid to capitalise upon it. Jeff Wheel seems to be a casualty. A man who's given 100% this afternoon. His strength and fierceness in the loose play has been outstanding, but he's taken a bad bump. As your pal Phil Bennett was not giving him exactly kid glove treatment then.
No, I think he's sort of dragged Jeff up from the ground thinking maybe that he wasn't hurt, but obviously he's in some kind of pain. But I think one of the big points, David, especially the last 10 minutes or so, has been the way that Gerald is again getting at John Robbie. I think we must blame Woolley a little bit as well, Willie Duggan. He should try and control the ball a little bit more for John Robbie, but he's shooting out and he's giving Gerald a chance to get at John Robbie, and Gerald's one of the great spoilers in Welsh rugby, and if John's got a little bit of a weakness, Gerald is certainly finding him out this afternoon with this back injury.
And the back row is very alive to it, as we'll see now.
Yes, here they come, just come out a bit too quickly. They're there, and there's Clive Burgess in a flash look, and Wales are going forward once again.
And number 8, Jeff Squire, was very close to the action as well. It looks as if Jeffrey Wheel is going to survive. Probably wrenched his neck. That's the situation at the National Stadium, with just a quarter of the match left, just 20 minutes to go. And Ireland's lead, a couple of tries to 2 penalties, kicked for Wales by Gwyn Evans. And the Irish pack, I think it's the final 20 minutes which we enter now, will be critical for these old warriors. The point has been made that only one of them is below the age of 30, and the Welsh pack is certainly playing pretty well at the moment. Burgess drives, Gerald Williams supports, Willie Duggan falls, Ian Stevens is there for Wales, number 1, Alan Phillips, number 2 is there, Gerald Williams serves it through Pearce, Gravel, Alan Donovan, Gwyn Evans gets the pass in finally, Nicholas is under pressure from Irwin, Ireland come out of their 22 through Campbell, and they put Ward away down the right wing, he reaches the halfway line, the ball goes to touch at last. The sea of red and white has to applaud the brilliance of Ireland's counter-attacking. Ward so prominent on the right wing. Phil, the game of Tony Ward, as we wait for this injury, is getting more and more authoritative.
Yes, he's the main man for Ireland out there today. He's tidying up everywhere. He's not afraid to counter-attack from any position. And I think Tony Ward possibly is playing one of his best games for Ireland today.
And Donovan recovering and off back to the centre. The halfway line, he's just behind
John Robbie, number 9 for Ireland. And at the National Stadium, the rain is coming down. Just a gentle drizzle, but enough to spray a little grease around the arena. Good Irish possession. Ward, Campbell, they miss out Irwin, and McNeil is there. It's in space, which Gwyn Evans does well to cover as McLennan comes up to him. Slattery, who seems to be everywhere this afternoon, is there to help Ireland win again. Phillips is miles offside, and back at the other end of the field, the referee's arm is in the air, indicating a penalty to Ireland. Now, it has to be said that Alan Phillips has developed in the last month or two a little bit of a habit of hanging around offside, and this could cost Wales dear. So then we saw it at Llanelli in a club match.
Yes, indeed that day Ireland was marking more than their wing forwards actually, and I think he came obviously in from an offside position there, and this could be a vital kick for Tony Ward and put him sort of 5 points clear.
Right, well, Tony Ward, with Campbell having interrupted his sequence just once, resumes Ireland's place kicking. The man from Gary Owen, who we remember being called out to play for the Lions, and barely he got off the plane and he was in action in a test and kicked 5 penalty goals and a drop. So can Tony Ward put Ireland into double figures? Teasing angle for a standoff. Indeed, he's hooked it. Wales are off the hook. A miss for Tony Ward. Wales getting a chance to come away from the 22. Harry Pearce telling the forwards to be behind him. No indiscipline to take place. That's a better dropout by him. He missed. He went straight into touch on the full once or twice early in the game. And that's well within the grasp of his forwards to run onto. So Irish mishandling offers the put-in to Gerald Williams. And again, the Welsh scrummage drive is so impressive. But that doesn't apply to their backs, nor their back row, to see the way Slattery went crashing out on this man, young Gary Pearce. Slattery, he will be looking for his 50th cap sometime next season. He's on 47 today, 32 years of age, and surely in the best Irish tradition he has another season, if not more, in him. He goes in now to try and protect his scrum half, and does it so well. Well, wasn't that gentlemanly? There's Ami. Gerald Williams waits for Welsh ball to be delivered. And Richard Palmard calls a set scrum to tidy it all up. So 15 minutes stand between Fergus Slattery and what would be a dramatic victory here. The first victory perhaps by a European country since the new national stadium was born. Wales need to make a huge effort in this final quarter of an hour. Gerald Williams, Donovan, Gravel, swinging it away to David Richards, who gets the return pass. There has been a knock-on, which Major Palmard has seen. And a little exchange of compliments on the ground between Rod Lewis and Willie Duggan. But the Gaelic temperament seems just right this afternoon to look after the Celts. Listen to this! Great scrimmage drive by Wales. Robbie inside Ireland's 22. Well, I must say I approve of the refereeing of Major Palmard. It's a tempestuous occasion, but his control is absolutely right. Through Irish locks. Duggan picks up, and he's gobbled up by Squire. And Burgess was there as well. Robbie to Ward, under the threat of Rod Lewis. A great clearance by the standoff. Jeffrey Wheel, it didn't travel 5 metres, did it? Ireland takes some advantage anyway, or do they? Here's McLennan, clearing away to Nicholas's wing and doing it well enough. So there is a Welsh record on the brink of tumbling with 13 minutes left. What has happened? Bishop Colman is on the ground. Gerald Williams has got as far as the line, but there isn't going to be a try allowed. These Bridgend halves are so quick thinking, you can't take your eyes off them for 1 second. Anyway, Robbie has a put-in at a set skirmish. Gerald Williams out after him again. Ward's gone across to narrow side for a bit of safety from the Welsh back row, but the kick is short and he hasn't really gained very much. Martin is the Welsh backman. Squire middle, Wheel front, against on the right O'Driscoll, Spring 5, Jenny places, and Moskeen 4. Phillips with the ball. Ireland's 22. Martin, Gerald Williams running into Byrne, into Phil Orr. Robbie bends on the right. Martin leans over. Can't do anything about that. Ward, will they come out of the 22? Ward aims for a touch, and the kick is good. Under the pressure that Ireland are under, Ward's game is now composed and solid, whereas it was flickering and touched with genius in the first half. So in the midfield we have an injury to Donald Spring. Well, Phil, what would be your prediction for these final 13 minutes or so?
Well, Wales have come back into the game very strongly indeed, and they're giving Ireland some terrible problems at the set scrum. I think really I would like to see a Welsh try if possible to get into the lead. But what I would say is that we're beginning to wear the Irish pack down, and I think there must be some score come in soon. But I think the point is that we can't win this good ball, to stick the ball in the air, get McNeil under pressure and take it from there. But one of the features has been Gerald Williams' sharpness today. He's an excellent debut for Wales.
One of the great faces of Irish rugby, Moskeen, a lock in the great tradition of men like Mulbride and Mulcahy, and hard men down the edges. There are only 10 minutes of proper time left. There will be injury time. Wales trail by 2 points. The crowd is trying to sing them into action. Graham Price breaks to Ireland's 22, sets up the ball for Burgess to take it on a little further. The Irish backs look a little uncomposed as Pearce drops for goal. Wales are back in the lead at the National Stadium. Gary Pearce strikes a gilt-edged 3 points. His first points at international level, and how valuable. Let's watch this tremendous thrust by Price, the support by Burgess, which made the ball of golden quality. And let's see Pearce rewarding the forwards, stepping into space and putting it through the middle. Donald Spring leaves the field for Ireland. So Ireland without one man short for the second time. So are Ireland going to throw it away after having led for the best part of 45 minutes? And Wales hold on to a 1-point lead. 9 minutes of this enthralling international level. The Irish defending at them all. Moskeen handing off when he shouldn't have done. Michael Gibson comes onto the field as the replacement for Spring, another of the Lansdowne pack, so he'll pack in with his clubmate Moss Keane, while Pearce's line kick goes down the line. And Wales, the Welsh Dragon, is breathing fire again. Jeff Squire feeling happier, but he knows that it's by no means over. It's been a titanic struggle, whatever the outcome, with Wales's newcomers performing so well against all kinds of torment provided by Campbell and Ward. This time it's Ward who's under pressure from Phillips and Burgess, and Rod Lewis heading out to the midfield. Graham Price and Fitzpatrick are the men at the front, and it's Wheel against Keane, then it's Ian Stevens and Phil Orr, then it's Alan Martin and Mike Gibson, the replacement. Burgess against O'Driscoll, Squire against Duggan, and Rod Lewis against Ireland's captain Fergus Slattery. It's a great take by Martin. Wheel is there to add weight and drive him through. And it's certainly the Irish forwards are backpedaling now, and the crowd is singing a little more happily. Minutes left. The scene is Ireland's 22. Ward can do nothing again but kick. The Welsh back row is hotting up its pressure on the Irish halves, and the Irish midfield hasn't seen the ball for a quarter of an hour. And the Irish forwards, their faces surely showing some strain. But remember, the Welsh lead a point. 9-8. Phillips throws midway between Ireland's 22 and their 10-metre line. A brilliant recovery by Gerald Williams, who had O'Driscoll upon him. Ball in touch on the full, but safe. Wales' vice-captain, what a great debut he's had. Ireland's 10-metre line. Martin, who's had a great game today, now opposed by Gibson with Spring off the field. Rod Lewis had more defending today to do than he did against Scotland, and he's done it well. Look at Wheel's tearing work. Gerald Williams in touch. Burgess certainly helped to win that ball for Wales. O'Driscoll seeming to be offside. Williams an example of that. Quick flip pass, and Pearce puts McNeil under pressure. McNeil is equal to it. Pearce has caught him up, and the Irishman doesn't quite know where to go. As Alan Donovan puts him down. Complete the pressure cooker exercise they put him in. To go, Wales leading by 1 point, 9-8, 2 penalty goals, and that valuable drop goal by Gary Pearce for the 2 Irish tries. Phillips to throw, aiming for Martin, so reliable, challenged by Gibson, barging given against Wales. The Irish looking anxious now. They want to get on with it. They know that time is running out. They have just 4.5 minutes left to swing this their way one more time. Again, the sign language employed by Misha Palman, telling Wales why they've been penalised under line-out and how not to do it again. The halfway line is on the left. Squire, good clean take by the captain. And a put in as a reward for that fine jump at the line out. Yes, there he is, getting up, number 8. Had a bang as he came down to earth. And as ever, Jerry Lewis hovers. And Jerry returns to his bench. Gerald Williams. Good strike by Phillips. For once, Robbie puts him on the receiving end. Nicholas tries hard to keep his footing. Penalty though for obstruction, going Ireland's way. And still Ward wants to kick for position. Although Ireland are not having it really their own way at the lines out. And now it's the Irish support's turn to open their lines. Number 18, worn by the replacement for spring, Michael Gibson. Michael Gibson, the younger, you might always say. And here the Irish, their faces impassive. A good attacking position for the visitors on the Welsh 22. This time Ireland barging at the end of the line. The red jersey could be seen to take the shot. And here's Pearce. Again, he makes certain of it. He's not been ambitious, over-ambitious this afternoon. He hasn't gone for too much. He hasn't gone the length we're used to seeing from Gareth Davis, but he has been finding touch. Halfway line. O'Driscoll that time to win ball, but it's difficult for Robbie, and Phillips is through like a flank forward upon the Irish scrum half. We were critical of Phillips earlier for being offside, but my word, he's so fast he can sometimes beat any gun without appearing to. Under 2 minutes left. Wales 9 points, Ireland 8. Just inside Ireland's 10-metre line. The Welsh pack close round their possession. And the elderly Irishmen have to give way, and they go to ground. When I say elderly, I simply mean that they're all into their 30s. That's veteran. That's a veteran age group for forwards. Gerald Williams, Wales' vice-captain, whose tactical control has been good, so has his expertise at scrum half. The captain and the vice-captain closely together there, with the skipper holding on. Ireland go to ground, they can't take it. Nicholas is off, the chase into Ireland's 22. McNeil has come up, he doesn't have a chance. Rod Lewis, number 6, is there rapidly for Wales. Wales going to have a pudding. Inside Ireland's 22, within drop goal range or try-scoring range. Surely not push over try range though. Squire delivers, and it went wrong. Robbie got a boot in the way. Now it's Wales' turn to retreat, and the covering is done by Donovan. 16, a replacement near the end of the first half for Peter Morgan. There the walking wounded, there's Spring, looking mournful with a blanket over his shoulders, with a hamstring injury, we're told. At this line-out on Wales' 10-metre line, we move to injury time with the Welsh lead, single point at 9-8. And Slattery and Rod Lewis clashing at the end of the line. Moss Keane, number 4, Moss Keane wondering if he can help out the tail-enders for Ireland. Well, if Wales can hold this lead, it'll be a melancholy experience for a number of those Irishmen. Slattery's been coming to Cardiff since 1970, and always there's been a scoreline, something like that, often much bigger. Can Wales hold on? Beautiful little pass to bring Nicholas into the game. It's behind McNeil. McNeil is there now. They have to counter-attack. The Welshmen are up. Matt Lennon has the ball. And now Quinn, who'd come over to help from his wing, comes out of Ireland's 22. The Welsh regroup. The Irish go for the ruck. Robbie is swallowed up by Martin. And the crowd urges Wales into Ireland's 22. Nothing, number one, for Ireland. Phil Orr can do about that colossal Welsh drive. Jeffrey Wheel, hands in the air, in an offside position, but telling the ref he's not interfering. Nearly 2 minutes of injury time gone by. Wales still attacking, ending the game much more strong and much more quick of thought and action. And what a change has taken place since half-time and Ireland's dominance at the end of the first half. Now the tentacles of the Welsh forwards are making life awkward for the Irish. A cheeky drop at goal by Williams, which falls to Freddie McLennan, who comes out of defence. Wales is tackling as sure. Quinn Evans catches well. McNeil and Irwin are on him for Ireland. Campbell has a chance to handle. Wales have handled on the ground and are penalised. The Irish support urges their men to one final assault. That's Quinn with the ball. Wales in danger of being outflanked. Over on the right it was Gibson running with the ball. O'Driscoll, number 6, is there to help Campbell as the Welsh pack arrive to clamp it inside Ireland's 10-metre line. Well, that was pretty breathless, wasn't it? The cheeky drop at goal by Gerald Williams, nearly yielding good counter-attack possession for Ireland. Another sign of Irish tiredness. Phil Orr on this side has certainly felt the full weight of a rejuvenated Graham Price this afternoon. Here's Gerald Williams, that ball not in. The game is over. Wales has preserved her remarkable record, being unbeaten in championship games at the national